Okay, oh, they're slicing it. They're coming in to slice the boat now. The police have come in to slice the boat. Look at that guy, he's furious. Okay.
On security! Go, go, go!
Okay, to your right, the policeman here. He's pulling them in to your right. So the police now intervening. They've just come in. They've slashed the boat. They feel it's close enough to the shore so that it's not too dangerous for those on board. And you can see everyone's giving up now.
In a move emblematic of the escalating tensions across the channel, French police officers were filmed slashing the inflatable hull of a small boat packed with wood, the asylum seekers just moments before it launched toward British waters. The footage circulating widely on social media shows French officers using knives to puncture the dinghy, deflating it as desperate migrants look on, clutching their few belongings on a cold dawn beach in northern France. French authorities have defended the action as a necessary intervention to prevent a dangerous crossing in overcrowded and unsafe conditions. But to many, the images are another stark reminder of the political standoff between Paris and London over how to manage the relentless flow of migrants risking their lives to reach the UK. According to local activists on the ground, the boat carried around 40 people who had pooled together thousands of euros to pay smugglers for the crossing. They were left stranded and exposed on the beach, with some reportedly attempting to hide from police to avoid deportation back to centers further inland. The French Interior Ministry said in a statement that preventing illegal crossings is a legal obligation under France's commitment to border control, adding that such measures save lives by stopping unseaworthy vessels from attempting the treacherous journey across one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. But critics argue these tactics merely push migrants to take even greater risks, increasing the likelihood of future tragedies. This latest incident comes as the UK government continues to pressure France to take tougher action to stop migrant crossings, after record numbers of arrivals in small boats this year, despite multi-million-pound deals signed between the two countries. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has maintained that the UK cannot tolerate the chaos of illegal crossings, while critics of the government argue that a lack of safe routes is forcing desperate people into the hands of smuggling networks. Meanwhile, aid workers warn that the repeated destruction of boats does little to address the underlying humanitarian crisis. Every time a boat is slashed, another will replace it, said one volunteer in Calais. People are not going to stop trying to reach the UK because their lives are unlivable here and they have family, hope, and futures waiting for them. As the summer crossing season intensifies, the channel remains a site of geopolitical friction, human tragedy, and political theater. For the migrants on the beaches of Calais, the slashed boat is more than a symbol of policy failure. It is a reminder that their journey is far from over, no matter how many obstacles are placed in their path.
It's great to be here today. Thank you, Wes, and it's great to be here today also with you, Kia. And today, of course, is the eve of the 77th birthday of our National Health Service. A service, as Wes said, that was created by a Labour government. It was protected by a Labour government in 1997, and we will now be the government that saved our National Health Service. Our 10-year plan will get our NHS back on its feet and make it fit for the future, led by our fantastic NHS staff, and a huge thank you to every single one of you. And funded by the £29 billion that I announced in the spending review last month. I want to be clear, we are spending money on taxpayers' priorities. But that wouldn't have been possible without the measures that we took in the budget last year. We fixed the foundations and we've put our economy back on a strong footing. Our commitment to the fiscal rules has meant that we can boost investment in our public services. The work that we've already done means that we have recruited 1,700 new GPs. We've cut waiting lists and we've delivered 4 million extra appointments in under a year. That's twice as many as we promised, and that wouldn't have been possible without all of you. Making this country fairer for those who have paid in all their lives, by guaranteeing that the NHS will be there when they need it. That's vital for the millions of people who rely on our NHS. But it's also vital for our nation's finances. Because if people have timely treatment, they'll be able to return to work. If NHS staff don't have to spend all their time on endless admin and bureaucracy, then they're free to focus on the care that they are so good at delivering. And if we can prevent illness taking root in the first place, we can save on costly treatment, as well as the huge pain and heartbreak later down the line. So this is the right way forward. Good for the health of our nation and good for the health of our nation's finances. This government will always deliver on the priorities of ordinary working people. And I am proud that with this plan, the NHS will always be there for those who need it, for the next 77 years and many more beyond that too. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Standing before an energized crowd in London, Rachel Reeves declared, "The NHS will always be there for those who need it, for the next 77 years and many more beyond that too." The moment was met with a rapturous standing ovation, underlining the emotional weight the NHS still holds in British political life, and the stakes Labour now faces in promising to safeguard it. Reeves, who has been positioning herself as a pillar of economic credibility within Keir Starmer's cabinet, used the speech to launch Labour's new 10-year NHS plan, framing it as the backbone of the party's commitment to rebuilding Britain's public services while maintaining fiscal discipline. The plan, which Labour claims will modernise, not privatise the NHS, outlines a strategy to tackle waiting lists, invest in cutting-edge diagnostic equipment, expand staffing, and integrate mental health into core NHS provision. Reeves emphasized that these changes would be backed by targeted investment and economic growth, not reckless borrowing, in a direct rebuttal to conservative claims that Labour's plans would risk financial instability. Critics, however, question the viability of Labour's ambitions amid tight public finances and an aging population placing increasing pressure on services. Some health policy experts warn that any NHS rescue plan will require difficult conversations about taxation and priorities, while unions have signaled that pay and working conditions must also be addressed to stem the exodus of exhausted healthcare workers. As the country approaches another winter with long waits in A and mounting pressures in general practice, Labour's promise of a 10-year roadmap for the NHS is set to become a key battleground. Whether Reeves and Labour can translate applause into trust and trust into votes will define not only their electoral prospects, but also the fate of Britain's most cherished institution in the years to come.